Hello, my name is Carl Surrey, and this is a video tutorial for the Facebook group called Fans of Serif Software. Now, this is part 5 of a WebPlus set of tutorials looking at making a fairly basic website, and I'm making it for the Fans of Serif Software. As you can, so this is as far as we got up to in the 4 videos that I've done so far. And once again, I would like to remind you that I myself am learning how to use this program while making these videos, so there may be some errors, and I apologize for that in advance. Now, what I'm going to do first is I've realized that I want to add an extra page to one of the child pages from software. I want to add one to PhotoPlus. So I will click and highlight PhotoPlus, putting the eye on the currently viewed option, and then I'm going to add a page to that and make it a child of PhotoPlus, and I'm going to call this plugins because I want to look at some plugins that you can use on PhotoPlus. I'm going to change the file name also to plugins, remembering to keep it all lowercase and remembering to keep the .html, and then click OK. Now the only problem here is if I go back to the home page, is that now when these child pages come down below software and PhotoPlus is the first one, that child page will then come over the calendar and date widget that I put here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that over to this side, and just to make sure I keep it the same height, I'm just going to click and drag on the ruler that's along here. I'm just going to click and drag down, and this will bring down a red line which I can use as a guideline. It won't actually appear on the website when I preview it. Let me zoom in. It's easier to zoom in and move these things than it is from a distance. That's better. Let's just zoom out again, and then I will just move that over so it's at the same height where I was before, and I can always just click and drag that away and it's gone. Right, I will just move this out of the way temporarily, because what I want to do now is start to add some detail to the home page. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add the logos for each of the softwares down the side here. So I just want to insert a picture, which is the 4th icon down from the left, and I'm going to start with PhotoPlus, and basically I'm just going to plonk them all. I'm going to load each one just randomly on the page for now. What comes after that? It was WebPlus. Where's WebPlus? There you go. I will position them better once I've got them all on the page. And we've got MSB, Movie Plus, Panorama Plus, and Craft Artist. Right, so that is the main videos, logos for the different software. So I'll click on this first one and drag it over to the edge, remembering that I'm going to have a drop down menu when somebody goes on software, PhotoPlus, and then down to plugins page, which I've just added. So I'll just lower this down a little bit more and then move the page plus one up to align better, and it may, well, it will overlap just a bit. I'll just zoom in a bit more so you can see that we're losing part of the logo. So what I can do is to right click there and then go to arrange and then back one, or you can press Control Shift and down, and that will put that logo behind that logo and allow you to see the rest of that logo without it being affected. So next one is WebPlus. Again, move this upwards, and then Draw Plus. Come on, Draw Plus. What I need to do is to reduce the size of this one so it fits better within the framework of this logos. What I could do is also drag a line from this ruler outward over here, and then have a guideline to where to line up the end of each logo. So I could just, come on, no, why does it keep doing that? That's a bit better, just bring that bit over there. And these other ones obviously are much too big, but I can reduce them in size and then just nudge them up. It's sometimes easier to zoom in to resize things to a certain position. That's better. Move that up to there, and the last one is Craft Artist. Where did that go? And this one I just need to resize outwards. There we go. I can zoom out again. So then I have all the different software listed down the side here, and I will get rid of this guideline that I was using. Now what I also want to do at this point is I want to hyperlink these to the pages for the relevant software. I know you can access it from the button, software button at the top here, but for the home page, and I'm only going to put this on the home page, I want to link each of these to the relevant bit of software. So I'll click on the PhotoPlus one first, then right click and then hyperlink, and this time I'm hyperlinking it to a site page, and then what you've got to do is link it to the relevant page, in which case this is PhotoPlus. Click OK, then just click on the next one, right click, hyperlink site page, and this time Page Plus, and then just keep repeating this. It is a sort of rather laborious process, but it's be worth it in the end. Just 3 more to go. Nearly there, folks. And the last one, right click, hyperlink, site page. Come down here to expand the software and craft artist. Click OK. And then I just want to highlight all of those, and then I want to group them together. So if I wanted to move these at some later date, maybe up or down, depending. See, I've missed one. Let me undo that. Edit. And then undo group objects. And this time actually try and highlight all of them. And then group them together. So I can move them up and down, or move them somewhere else on the site to see how they work. So let me just preview this and see whether it works okay. So there we have, hopefully when I go to software, come over to WebPlus, I've also got another page for plugins, and this list of software is not affecting. In fact, I can even nudge it up a bit further. The day and date thing is not in the way of anything over here, and hopefully when I click over, hover over this and click on it, it takes us to the WebPlus page. Now obviously I can't, as I haven't got that secondary sort of navigation bar on all these pages, I would have to go back to the home page to test that Craft Artist takes you to the Craft Artist page. But like I said, this is just a very quick sort of navigation bar, but most of the time on other pages they would have to use the navigation bar at the top. I mean, I may decide at some later date to keep this navigation bar on all the pages, but I think I'll just keep it on the home page for now and make decisions on that later on. So what I'll do is I'll just nudge this up slightly and just do that, highlight it and then nudge it up, say to about there. Do a quick preview again. And go to the WebPlus page. Yeah, that's far enough away from the child page from WebPlus, so I'm more than happy with that. So I will do a quick save. Of the position where I am now. Now, the next thing I want to discuss and look at is, let me just zoom out a bit here. What I want to discuss now is in the previous video, I was asking about whether anybody knew about extending the page beyond the left and right sides of this the website, because when you look at it online, you get to the edge of here and then you've got a lot of white space down the sides which can't be used. Now I have sort of worked out how I can use that a little bit by just using a background, and to do that I will go to the master page A, and as you can see that I've had these blue lines that boxes that go off the edge here, and what I will do is I will just bring these right into the edge of the web page so that when they do show up, they will now have a sort of black border line down the edge, where at the moment that was missing. And what I'm going to need is a background, and I can do that from the Assets tab, which is over on the side here. And you can go to, so I'm going to use Settings options and then click Browse, which opens up the Asset Browser, and it has all these footers and gradients and headers and other things. But I'm going to come down to these textures, which is what I'm going to use for my background, and I could add one or two, whichever one you want, and but for quickness I'm just going to click on the add all. So you can, let me close that down, so you could test them all to your heart's content, but what I'm going to, the one I know I want to use is this one here, and I'm just going to click and drag it onto the page, and then it just says apply background to the current page, and as this is the master page, it will then affect all those using the master page. And let me just close that down, and if I preview this site now, you can see that that background extends beyond the edge of where the actual page finishes. So although I can't put anything in here other than the background, maybe you can, but I haven't personally worked out how to do that. Now we won't have a sudden, if you do use a background, you're not going to have a sudden ending, and it will then be white. So that is how I've worked out how to extend beyond the edge of the page that you can see. And as you can see, because I brought those blue boxes in, I've now got the black line down the edge here. So that, I think, is a much better looking version, with the background going off the edge. I have just noticed that this Draw Plus, these ones haven't lined up like they did, like they look like on the page. I'll have to go back and have a quick look at that. Let's go back to the home page. Let me just zoom in. Don't know quite why it's gone like that. Might be because something I did when I was hyperlinking them, or when I grouped them together. But what I'll do is I'll just click ungroup, and let me just zoom in again. To the next one. I just need to nudge that down a bit. Alright, hopefully that's, so once again I'll just highlight all of those and group them together again. Just do yet another quick preview and make sure that they line up better. That's it, there's a nice straight line there. So again, I will just do a quick save. I think it's always a good policy to save fairly regularly. Probably more so for me because I'm running the video recording program as well. I'm using up quite a lot of memory, and it does have a habit of making these programs crash. So the next thing I want to do is I just want to alter the color of the hyperlinks. If I need to go back to the, well, I will go back to the master A, but I didn't necessarily have to go back to the master A. I want to look at the site properties and then click on the hyperlinks, and as you can see here, if I make a hyperlink like I did with this fans of Serif software down here, it will make it, it's set up by default to be on black, but I want to change that color. So if I click on that, I'm going to make that red, and I'm just going to make them all red because I think that will stand out better, especially on the blue background that I have here. And if I make any hyperlinks on this grey blue background, I will also stand out better, in my opinion, than the black did. So that is that quickly done. And the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the master B page, and I'm going to get rid of this dotted logo background which I set up here, because I haven't quite worked out how to make my own sort of backgrounds fit over the whole of the screen, but I can use one of these asset ones, and I'm going to use this one and apply to background. Not brilliant. Let me undo that. Let's try a different one. That's a bit subtler. It looks a bit better, I think. So come down to the contacts page and then preview that. Yeah, so you can see the texture just goes off the screen slightly on the edges, and it is a bit subtler than just having a plain white background. And then hopefully this will have added, yeah, see, I haven't had to alter the navigation bar. It has automatically just transferred over the data from the one I made on the master A page. And like I said before, the only thing it hasn't altered are the colours, but I'm not worried too much worried about that, because it does sort of fit with the background, and this is like a one-off page using this background anyway, so I'm not that worried about that. Right, let's close this to make this look a bit neater. Go to the home page, and I'm just going to drag this back on for now, and then I'm going to ungroup them by clicking on this logo here. Click on the serif logo, and I'm going to drag that over there, and then I'm going to delete that one altogether just by pressing the delete key once you've highlighted it. And then I'm going to make a text box like so, and I do already have typed in some text here, which I'm just going to copy and paste into that text box. And once it's in there, I'm going to highlight that all, and I'm going to change the fonts and the size of the font. Yes, let's make that 18, and then I'm going to make these top two paragraphs, text in bold and centered. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bullet point between each of these named software, and you can do it from up the top here, but I do know that the bullet point is pressing Control Alt and then 8, and then I'm going to do the same here, Control Alt 8. I could put one at each end as well, I guess. Yeah, that's better. And then I'll just drag this serif logo back into under there, and then make sure it is no, wrong one. I always get horizontal and vertical mixed up. That's that one. Right, and if I do a quick preview, there we go. So there we got your home page done and finished. Pretty much. I might make the text a bit smaller so that you can see. Well, first of all, I can nudge it up slightly, and then you should be able to see the serif logo. Obviously, it all depends on the size of your monitor. I mean, I think mine is 17-inch, and at the moment I can't see the serif logo down here nor the bottom. So I have to do a little bit of scrolling, but you may have a really mega screen and you can see everything. There's not a lot I can do that I know of to make sure that this fits exactly on everybody's size screen. So as I can't control that, I'm not going to overly worry about it too much. Let me just close that, and like I said, I'm just going to nudge this up slightly if it will let me. So sensitive. And there. I'll just nudge that up as well slightly. And then I just got to bring that logo back in, align it in the center. I could have a quick look at making the text white, for example, and see whether that stands out any better when you preview it. Probably not. No, I don't like it, and also that serif logo is a bit close, so I'll just go back to making this black. And then lower this serif. Oh, it's not. Well, I need to. Oh, let's send this box to the back. Arrange. Go back one. So hopefully I can now grab hold of the serif logo. And I'll just use the arrow keys just to nudge it up a few steps at a time, and then a line in the center again, and I'll do one last preview. Yeah, so I can sort of see that logo now down the bottom, and you can see the just everything without anything overlapping. Oh, apart from that plugins, I've nudged it up too far, which is why you need to preview just to see how things will look. So I need to lower those down. But before I do that, I can't do two things at once here. I want to show you this box down. There's a little box that comes up down here when I'm hovering the cursor over these things, and I just want you to see that the last word of that box currently says photoplus.html and then pasteplus, and then that is because I changed the file name at the end for each page. So that is how that will look when it comes up on the website when someone goes on the page, and so it will be like www.blah blah blah drawplus.html, and that will also make it easier for search engines to find certain pages, because there might be millions of pages out there called page 1, page 2, page 3, but if you've got an unusual name or a relevant name, search engines can find that page easier, which is why you should really change your file name page. So let me just go back, lower this down a bit. Oh, close. And that's it. Just lower that down a little bit. Right, now I just need to put a space in there. I don't think there's anything I want to hyperlink here. I mean, I could highlight the serif software and hyperlink that, but I don't know whether the button itself is enough of a giveaway to let people know that they can click on that. Well, provided let's do it anyway. I do have the serif web page link highlighted there, so I'm going to come back to that, highlight it, right click it, go to hyperlink, internet page, paste, and then OK. So folks, we've got two ways now of getting to the serif own page, by either clicking on that or the button. So I think that is my home page complete, and I will quickly save that. Now the next thing I quickly want to do is just come to the tutorials page, and I can get rid of this now. This was just a sort of placeholder for me, and like I said in the last video, when you have child pages like I have written and video, most people, when they come to run over the buttons and they will see the child pages open underneath, they will sort of just drop down to the one they want to look at. But that doesn't mean that they won't click on the main button like tutorial. So you do need to have something on those pages, as well as the main information you're going to be putting on the child pages. So what I want to add on here are the links to the YouTube videos about how I've made this website. And from this previous page here where I've already set things up, I have the first 4 parts here. Obviously I can't put part 5 in yet because I'm making it now while you're watching this and I can't add it in. But what I will do is go back to WebPlus, and then you can insert media and then YouTube video. And when you do that, it opens up this insert YouTube video, and in the box here it's asking for the video's embedded code. If I go back to my page here, I don't want the whole page, they just want the letters and numbers that are after the / from the YouTube bit here. So the first one goes to that capital D, so I've highlighted that and then copied. Go back to WebPlus and then paste that into there. Now there are other options on here and I've not really looked into them, and I'm not going to alter anything, but I'll just click OK and then just randomly click that there, and then I'm going to move this to there. In fact, what I probably might need to do is put that one there so I can then add in the next one. So insert media YouTube video, come down and highlight that, copy, back to WebPlus, there, so again insert, forgot where it was, oh yeah, media YouTube video, and the last one is insert media YouTube video, right. So that's the 4 videos that I have done so far on making this website, and I just want to add a couple of guidelines in so I'll get them all looking the same distance apart. I'll just move that one to there. That one to there. Right, so now I've got them all in the right place. I'll just get rid of those guidelines, and then I'm going to highlight all those, group them together so I can then center them on the page. I can always ungroup them for now, and then I can add a little text box, if I do one underneath there, press down the control key and drag that down, so I've got, oh, that didn't work. Let's just copy it then and then paste it, so I've got two exactly the same size. So making website video part 1, and I'll just quickly copy that. So we'll be able to do all that typing again. That's part 2, part 3, and part 4. Let's have a quick. Let's do a save first, just in case, and then do a quick preview. So you got the 14 videos, and if you click on that, it should start displaying.
Hello, my name is Carl Surrey.
Myself talking over myself.
A video tutorial for the
And
Facebook.
And like other things, you can go to full size, I think.
In this, it's going to be a set of tutorials.
So let me stop that. So I can add at least 2 more on this particular page. If there are going to be more video tutorials about making this website, I will have to put in extra pages. So that is quickly how you can add a YouTube video to your page. So let me just close that down, and I think that is as far as I want to take this at its present time. And all I need to do now is to upload this to the web host. So publish site to web, publish all pages, make sure that's ticked. Well, in my case I want to make sure that's ticked, and then click OK. It will go through its processing section, and then again I want to do an incremental update. May take a bit longer this time because I've got a few more items, but quite quickly. That's 24 items to go. It's nearly done. There we go, just finishing off. All successfully uploaded. I can close that down, and I have saved it, so I can close that down. But first of all, just you want to go and check out how I've got to so far. The web address is www.foss.one. That's foss.1, and please check it out and give me your views. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.